Say hi to Irene. She's providing a 6-point bonus to merchant skill for all my characters, which will save on training costs. I did have to pay 200 gold to hire her, but we'll make that money back. Also, I have a horseshoe. I did a little bit of inventory sorting for people, and I had like a horseshoe tucked away in the bottom left corner here. So, I'm gonna slap that on SKS. And some apples, too. You can have one Lil, and you can have one Bobo. Yay! Oh, and this hat.
Hey, the place is filled. We'll find a use for this.
+2 body resistance hat.
I'm not sure what it is.
We'll find a use for this.
Need some training?
Now we're going to train up to level 12. That will cause 64 in-game days to pass. Each level of training takes 8 days. 8 times 8 is 64 because I'm going to be training up 8 levels. That should be enough event time to pass for right now, and do note that Bobo's training costs are more expensive because he's had a promotion.
That's the ticket. 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 That's the ticket.
Alright. Welcome to the 14th of July. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. My lords, I have an urgent message from the Arathian ambassador for you. I am told it has details of an important event that's happening right now, and that you should read it immediately. Here's the letter. They're fighting for the horn. The artifact they both desire, and returning it to... well, you know, delivering it to either Queen Griffinheart or King Parson will provide a gold bonus. But, as in the last game, I will not be showing that off. I'm going to be delivering it to Judge Gray for an independent Harmondale. I've delivered it before to both of them in the past. But, you know, that was before I realized that I could just deliver it to Judge Gray, which is pretty neat. I just like the story that tells better. An independent Harmondale. Whether you're good or evil. You know, it's also pretty entertaining to go from, you know, being under the thumb of Lord Markham, essentially, and being written off as a no-one. By the way, I can't get the apple from here. It's fake. Fake apple. To being independent. You know, in exchange for a sum of, what, 5,000, 10,000 gold pieces? I don't even remember the exact reward. Is it really worth it? No, it's not. Not when gold is infinite in this game.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Probably, Bobo. Probably. Since I'm in the neighborhood, I might as well fly around here. Not to kill the trees, but to pick up a few shekels. There may have been a bow that I left behind. It's fine. I'm not gonna care about it too much. I will go visit the islands over here, though. I won't go into Clanker's lab. That's pretty dangerous for us, and with it being as cramped as it is, invisibility is harder to rely on. I don't feel like having the party wipe. And also...
Where will I put that? Where will I put that? No space.
truthfully,
Ow!
we couldn't handle the traps. I'd have to get a hireling. And we'll take this apple. This one, too. Nom, 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 nom. There's a few more apples in Pierpont, of course. We've passed by those apple trees before. We've seen them off in the distance. I haven't checked what this challenge is yet. It's a contest of accuracy. No one's got even remotely enough accuracy for that. Truly the darkest of times. Drive-by Namen.
No room. No space. Ow!
Ow.
Ow. Brr. I was mildly concerned that, one of the trees would hit Lonnie
Hey, the place is filled.
as I was having her open up chests, and so she'd have to recover from that, and then we'd trigger the trap. Okay, Grimith. Moment of truth time here. Do you want to grab Merchant Expert? I mean, you could decide at any moment, but you do have some crap that you want to sell. So, if you're going to make a choice, probably should be no. You know what? I'm going to completely eschew Merchant Skill this run. Other than like a hireling here or there, case in point. Yeah, I think I'll just forgo it. Okay. That is my ruling. I'm going to be heading back to Harmondale now. Today is Sunday. So we shall wait until dawn of the next day and gate back to Castle Harmondale. Quest log was telling us to grab the horn and deliver it to someone. And I'll be delivering to Judge Ray, who is not long for this world. So this is basically the first part of the video. I'm going to be training up. The second part of the video is going to be a game mechanics discussion. We'll have a lot of skill points, and it'll be time for us to review some skills and see where we want to go. What I want to do with a few things. While I'm around here, I guess I can grab the... There's a chest down there. I don't think I'll bother with it. But you know,
I don't know.
There can be some gold, like, up here on these hills.
I'm not sure what it is.
This is a normal longbow. Few reagents around. Bobo doesn't even have any room at all.
Wonderful! Wonderful!
Yes, that is wonderful that you have no room.
A perfect mix.
A perfect mix. Our inventory is so full.
There's no room.
Damn. No room at all. For nothing.
A perfect mix.
Do a little bit of inventory management. Hooray. I love inventory management. It's like Christmas. Okay. Hi. How are you doing, my lords? I'm Judge Gray. I have the unusual job of arbitrating disputes between warring nations. Position has... whatever. You are wise to return the trumpet to me. Now I can use it to help shore up the weak side in this conflict and promote peace. Instead of giving one side, you know, domination. Thank you. Feeling the heat yet? Protect yourselves and your people first. We didn't have this conversation. Time to upset all the goblins as we fly across the land. You can see the fort off in the distance here, as the hobgoblins are manning it. They've taken it over. I want to fly so far away that that they stop acting. See the projectile flying off there. That way they don't bother coming into town. Because then I would have to kill them. Back to training.
Need some training?
And we'll be heading to level... Actually, delivering the horn. Took us up an extra level of experience. Nice.
Need some training? That's the ticket. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
Alright, level 15. Lil has 161 hit points, Lonnie has 131, SKS has 126. That's a bit misleading. And Bobo has 83. with 110 spell points. So I say SKS's hit point count is misleading, because he, right now, without any promotions, gets the same hit points per level as Lonnie and Lil, which is a hit point progression of 4. Now, as we get, level up, or no, actually, let me check the damn manual. Is it Knights who have 5, maybe? Knights probably have 5. Yes, Knights start with 40 hit points, then they go to 5, 7, and 9. Thieves start with 35 hit points and get 4, 6, 8. Paladins start with 30 hit points and get 4, 5, 6. 6 being at their second promotion. Thanks, instruction manual. So, as we get promotion quests, SKS is going to fall behind in hit point count compared to Lonnie and Lil. And you can see the hit point difference between SKS and Lonnie right now is only 5, just due to the starting hit point values, because they have the same bonus from endurance. Right. And Bobo, of course, will have the worst hit point progression. But at least he does have some hit point progression, right? So as we get further on in the game, SKS's hit points are going to fall behind Lil's and Lonnie's, but it'll be better. Actually, let me lean back in my creaky chair again, that I use for whenever I record things. Yeah, that's clerics have a hit point progression of 2, 3, and 4. So SKS will definitely have more hit points than Vic will on a level by level basis. Alright, we also have a gob of skill points. So many skill points, particularly SKS, because I haven't spent any of his skill points, and I've even thumped him with a few horseshoes. So, now we get into some mechanics talk. I'm going to save the game here. And load mechanics time. You may want to tune this bit out. I understand. But it's decision time for where I want to take these characters. And with that in mind, I need to regard some things. No, there's no doubt where I'm going to be taking Bobo and Lil. Bobo is going into Magic Land. I don't care about his combat prowess at all. He is a full caster. He's our only elemental caster. I'm not counting the thief's basic magic skills they can get with a promotion. You know, and I may even goof around with Identify Item and Identify Monster. I'll certainly be grabbing some Alchemy and Meditation as well for extra spell points. You know, so he's... At the very least, I'm going to be shepherding along these 2 schools of magic, plus light magic. I'll do something with fire. I may get Earth to Expert. Meditation and Alchemy. So his skills are already covered. Lil is going to have Sword Master. I'm going to put 55 skill points, 54, excuse me, into Arms Master to take this up to 10. Then the next investment I'm going to make for her is Plate Armor. After that, she's great. They do, like, some repair item. Like, she'll be grabbing that eventually. Bodybuilding is pretty nice, but she still has more hit points than anyone else in the party. That's not a priority right now. And maybe after all of that's invested, in the distant future, I might grab Spear. Because you can Grandmaster Spear. I'm not worried about Grandmastering Sword. You could basically dual wield a sword and a spear, but there's less value in that, and I've discussed in the comments with someone, like in the prior series, who wanted to learn more about that. I prefer to dual wield swords on knights, instead of using a sword and a spear. Where I'm less decided right now is where I want to go with Lonnie and where I want to go with SKS. So, Thieves, can Grandmaster Dagger. Skill attack added to attack bonus permits use of a dagger in the left hand. Chance to cause triple damage equal to skill, and skill added to attack damage. They can also master swords, so Lonnie can wield a sword and a dagger. Or 2 daggers, or 2 swords.
No, there's no room.
Case in point there. And if I take this over
There's
there...
no room.
There. Or I can swap their hands. Now, this hand swapping is actually relevant. Plus 24, 31 to 41 damage. Plus 27, 31 to 41 damage. Why is that different? They're both the same fucking weapon, right? So, when dual-wielding weapons, only the skill of the weapon in your left hand is used in calculation of attack and damage. So, because my sword's in my left hand, we're using the sword skill to calculate attack. There's no skill added to attack damage for the sword here, so that's not being added to damage. If we had Dagger Grandmaster, that would be added to our damage. And of course, attack would end up being higher because we'd have to have a total of 10 points in Dagger. So that's where that differentiation comes from. So, when wielding 2 weapons, the one with the higher base recovery time is used in calculations. Daggers have a recovery time of 60 units. Swords have a recovery time of 90 units. Now, let's say that Lonnie were just wielding 2 daggers. Well, in this case, both daggers have the same recovery time, so the recovery time of this weapon would be used. So if I have a weapon that has the Swift property, which increases, like, weapon speed, I would want it to be in my right hand. Now, daggers have a chance to cause triple damage equal to skill at the master level. This is bugged. Daggers always have a 10% chance to cause triple damage. Now, when you get that triple damage, it's just factoring in the damage of the dagger. So in this particular case, with the best dagger in the game, it's a 2d3 plus 7. Just the damage of the dagger. That would be tripled. Furthermore, if you have a dagger in the left hand, Dagger Master can proc. Even if you only have Dagger Expert. Oh, a dagger in the left hand can still proc. So the chance is 10% no matter what, and a dagger held in the left hand can proc that triple damage. Even if you don't have Dagger Master. And just have Dagger Expert, because obviously you would need that in order to put the dagger in the left hand. That's something to keep in mind. Obviously, that's not how the game functions. That's not how the game's supposed to function. This is something that is fixed in Greyface's extensive modifications, which I am not running with. It's also possible that it's fixed in the GOG version. Hell if I know, right? So there ends up being a choice there between, do I want to dual-wield daggers? Daggers have a shorter recovery time than swords, but daggers will deal less damage than swords, and frankly, I think it's easier to find powerful swords than it is to find, like, powerful daggers. Like an exquisite long dagger? Holy shit, it'd be easier to find a duelist blade in my experience. Daggers do have that 60 recovery time units versus 90 recovery time units, but that means it's easier for Lonnie to cap out on the minimum recovery time sooner. So the minimum recovery time is 30, right? So as once we get to 30, we can't go any lower. Lil is at 30 right now with her club. Like, the actual recovery time of this is listed in-game in the single digits, but it has to be 30, because that's what melee recovery time is. So, we give Lonnie a Potion of Haste. That's minus 25 recovery time. So she's already at 35. We get a little bit of speed in on her. Basically, if we took this up to 25 speed, she'd have a plus 5 bonus to speed. And then she'd be at the minimum recovery time already. So at that point, you don't benefit from making her go any faster. No swift weapon speed, thing, no extra speed. Whereas if you have weapons that are slower, you can continue to benefit by making them even quicker, so that they deal more damage per second. This ends up being why, pursuing all the way to dagger, is less enticing. That said, Dagger Grand does add the skill to attack damage. And if you're dual-wielding daggers, Dagger Master allows both of those daggers to proc triple damage. We'll probably end up going this route with Lonnie. Probably, just to fiddle around with daggers. But I will bitch, particularly later on in the game, because, she won't benefit much from going and attacking even faster, right? Now, thieves can also take Arms Master to Master, which can be helpful. So, let's say that I have 7, points in Arms Master, and I have it at the Master Expertise level. That's going to be minus 7 recovery time. So, 60 minus 7 is 53. 53 minus 25 is... Who the fuck even cares about speed? Unless you have it in the negatives. Like the negative modifier. You're already there. Ta-da! And you get plus 7 attack bonus and plus 7 damage. And that's easier to obtain than pursuing with Dagger Grandmaster. You can see why you might just be enticed to use swords, then. You would just end up being a weaker version of a knight in that case. Because I only plan on taking Lil to sword 7. I don't care about skill added to armor class. Lil's gonna be wearing fucking plate armor. The hell do I care about that? So just going sword 7 and then putting your points into Arms Master. The difference between a knight and a thief is that knights can get Grandmaster Arms Master to double those previous bonuses. Thieves can only get Master in that, so her damage simply can't keep up. I can mix in a sword and a dagger for a little bit of extra damage, but then I'm going to be attacking slower. Why don't I just use 2 swords? Am I hoping to proc the extra triple damage? That will have a 10% every time I attack? You really want to rely on that? You can't adjust that based on, skill level. So that's a lot of time spent just talking about Lonnie. Now for the Paladin. Paladins can grab Mace Grandmaster, attack bonus, attack damage, stun, and paralyze equal to skill. But they can also grab Sword Master, and they can grab Dagger Expert. They can also grab Shield Grandmaster too, but, Shield Master is neat. Shield Grandmaster, if I want that, I can just cast the Shield spell, right? I don't really need that for my skill. So, we're in a situation where Sir SKS here can wield a mace in one hand and a sword in the other, or a sword and dagger, dagger, sword, 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 dagger, dagger, mace, sword, mace, dagger. Maces have a base recovery time of 80 units, so they're slightly quicker than a sword is. So it's easier to make the jump between using a mace and sword here instead of mace and dagger. Do of course keep in mind that if a dagger's in the left hand, it will have a 10% chance of proccing that triple damage. Despite not having Dagger Master, and despite only having 4 skill points in it. But this sword will reliably deal more damage than a dagger will. So I lose out on the armor class bonus of shield, right? And we know that the hit point progression for SKS will not be as good as Lonnie or Lil will, along with whatever, bonus we end up having on the shield. Think of how, incredibly defensive Vic was. But, her attack power was coming from casting shrapnel, right? She didn't need a damn weapon. SKS, as a paladin, he's really going to be relegated to, buff area, because he's not going to be getting that many spell points. So, his attack magic won't be for... his magic won't be for attacking so much as, bolstering us. So he's going to need to be able to fight. Now, he's going to be wearing plate armor, too, which will slow him down as well, because he can't Grandmaster plate and completely eliminate the recovery time. So he'll have to deal with that recovery time as well. With that in mind, like, I don't really play with Paladins that much. It's been, like, just one of those things where I never really cared about playing with Paladins that often. I think I'm interested in dual-wielding Paladin here. And I don't think I'm going to go Dagger, because I'm already going to have daggers taken up by Lonnie. Like, I want to already find 2 badass daggers. I don't want to have to factor in a third as well. I'm going to be finding 2 badass daggers and 3 badass swords. Because I think I'm going to take SKS to Swordmaster. And we'll play around with Mace as well. Just for that bit. Chance to stun and paralyze. He can only get to Armsmaster Expert, which means he can't add any more damage to his, like, swords. Any extra damage is going to be coming through maces. But he's got so many things to invest skill points in as well. Spirit and Body Magic, definitely. Maybe a little bit of Mind Magic, but that is definitely not a priority. Mind Magic Expert is useful, but not a crushing priority. You know, we gotta get to Sword 7, we're gonna be bumping up Mace. I'm gonna be eschewing Shield and going for Plate. And, you know, I accidentally picked up Chain because that one time I forgot that SKS was a Paladin, and I thought he was a damn Cleric, because I'm used to Clerics being in that spot, particularly if they're Dwarves. We've got a little bit of Armsmaster to grab, Meditation to help that very weak spell point count, and Bodybuilding to lift the hit points up. So there you go. That's a breakdown of where these characters are going to be going. A discussion of game mechanics. That's pretty much the end of the damn episode. I know, not a whole lot of progress. Such is life. Next time, I'm actually going to invest these damn skill points. Along, you know, give me an opportunity to change my mind, like, one final time before we move on. And we still have a bit more time to kill before Judge Grey dies of perfectly natural causes, and we're able to choose Judge Fairweather and get on with the light path. We'll probably head into Talia's direction. I'll talk to you folks later.